I messed it up. I messed it up. I knew it. I messed up the intro. Computer is jacking up. It is. Hang on. We're going to run it back. But I'm going to fast forward. How sweet it is. That's like my third redo, right? Second redo. To be loved by you nerds. What is up? It's me, your buddy pal HeyArcher. Welcome back to HeyArcher Live here on Nerd Affiliated. I think I need a dedicated webcam. I think we're at that point, but we will move on. We'll move on. This is your weekly Thursday night nerdy talk show where we sit back and relax. I say we sit back and relax. And hopefully by now, you've poured yourself just a little bit of...
More specifically, vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.
As we celebrate entering the weekend. Your comments are killing me. Yeah. I didn't even plan tonight's show. Didn't plan anything. Literally just stood up, walked over, thought I could go live. And of course, tech difficulties were occurring. But it's fine. It's fine. We got stuff to talk about, I'm sure. I'm adjusting the colors. I'm just obsessed with this freaking thing. If you have a YouTube channel, podcast, blog, vlog, OnlyFans, newsletter, spoke signals, whatever it may be, put in the chat, support one another, plug yo shit. I didn't even remember to do a promo on Instagram, so I'm just slacking today. So tell your friends about me, and I'm just gonna throw the link in the chat. If anybody wants to join, feel free. It is all you today. But we'll have a good time nonetheless, because that's what happens. We just wing it. The show goes on, and we have a good time, as always. So, without further ado, the man, the myth, the legend, it is me. Mr. Tech Difficulties, it is me. Wait, this is even off, too. Yeah. We're here on the show. I tell you, just a hot mess. Just a hot mess. I didn't plan anything. But that happens sometimes. Sometimes you come on, you know, to do a show, and you're like, damn, I didn't really put together a list of things to talk about. Even in the title does not have a list of things to talk about. But we will find things to talk about, for sure. But let's get the promos out of the way, as per usual. And I'll say hi to everybody in the chat. Of course, that camera's not working. Mind you, I just did an update thinking it would help. And it didn't. It did not. Nerdaffiliated.com, your one-stop shop for all things nerd affiliated. Links to the latest videos, latest unboxings, latest shorts, all that fun stuff. And then, of course, if you're into the Ghostbusters side of things, we have the Real Nerdbusters over here as well, realnerdbusters.com. And like I said, you find us on Instagram for both the Real Nerdbusters and for Nerd Affiliated. Actually, I'm going to talk about Creature Commandos for sure. That's definitely going to happen. What is up with this thing? Why is it doing that? Interesting. I gotta try to fix that at some point. I'm like noticing, like there's supposed to be notifications for various things, and I'm seeing that for some odd reason, the ones for new members and for new subscribers was like turned off. I don't know why. So I'm going to try to fix that real quick. And then I'll say hi to all of you in the region. Wait, now it says it's on, but I turned it off. Oh, recent subs. Recent subs. I can do this. I can do this. I can figure this out. I don't think it's gonna work. Here we go. Here we go. Come on. Move. Oh my God. Ecamm is freaking killing me. It is freaking killing me.
Boo! Boo! Rubbish! Filth! Slime! Muck! Boo! Boo! Boo!
El Table. Tell you, today is, as the kids say, today is a vibe. It's like, it's frustrating. It's fine. I'll fix it later. But now my face is like covered by the subs thing. This is like the worst intro to the show of all time. Unless you guys are enjoying my struggles here, which is possible. I'm gonna turn that off and figure it out later. But I'll say hi to all of you in the chat first. Patrick in the house, good to see you. Tony in the house, good to see you. I mean, how I'm doing, I don't know. Just a mess. Just a mess. It's crazy. Ultra Cardazilla, good to see you. The other Tony in the house, the Rambling Nerd, good to see you. Got KO in the house, good to see you. Got the Man Collects in the house. I'm almost back in. The ad got me. Bro, everything is just like a wreck, and I don't understand why. I'm trying to fix this thing again, and it's just not going to work. It's just not going to work, so I'm turning that off. Everybody's saying hi to each other. Yeah, redo the intro. You know what's crazy? The camera, it's Ecamm Live. At this point, I've narrowed it down. It has to be Ecamm Live. That's the issue for a lot of the tech stuff. It seems to not be an issue when I look at other streams and like I look at their the videos that they do when they do tutorials and stuff. But for me, I don't understand like why it's just an issue all the time. And my camera usually works when I do like Google Meet calls and stuff and Zoom calls. Not an issue, but at Ecamm every time there's a problem. So that's what I'm saying. I might need to get a dedicated camera because maybe it'll work better with Ecamm. But like now I can't even move things on the screen. Like right now I can't see. Let me turn subscribers off. Oh, it's up there. All right, maybe that one will work now. Like it turned off like if you guys subbed or whatever, the notifications, like that was just off randomly. Like I don't know why. So it's just Ecamm just gets to be annoying sometimes. And I hate the fact that it's annoying sometimes because I really like it. I get to talk to all of you. But also, I feel like Ecamm's the best app when it comes to the chat showing all of the apps. So if people do join on Twitch, if they do join on Facebook, it's all one place. The other apps don't seem to do that as well. So there's that. Like I said, there's a link there. If anybody wants to join this stream, you can. No guarantees, there's no issues at this point in the stream. Dada Films in the house. Good to see ya. Did I say hi to Rolando already? What's up, Rolando? Good to see ya. We got Porkins in the house. Red 6 standing by. Dave's Dimension in the house. Good to see you both. Good to see you both. All right, yeah, so I finished the show today, and we could talk about that for sure. We got Raven Pontiac in the house. It's been a while. Good to see you. We're saying hi to each other. Love that. Love that. But yeah, I don't know if I said this before, but I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission so far, beginning of this year. For one, and I didn't do it yet, so I have to remember to do it after the stream. I'm trying to do a new photo every day. I'm doing like my own like photo challenge, which it's not my idea. It's not like my original idea or anything, but trying to do a photo challenge where on my Instagram, which I don't really ever plug on the show, but I'll do that now. You guys know I like doing photography. Sometimes I'll like cross share on Nerd Affiliated or on Real Nerdbusters, but I have a photography Instagram, Book of Archer, and I don't really post on there as much as I should. So the challenge I created for myself was picture a day for the entire year. So trying to do that. At first, I wasn't sure if I was going to do like a selfie a day. So I did a selfie the first couple of days, but I think I'm just going to do a picture a day. Although selfie a day would be, I guess, kind of fun too. But I feel like a lot of people have done that one. Whereas, I don't know, picture a day. Maybe it's not as popular. I don't know. But yeah, if you want to see my photography, Book of Archer on Instagram and bookofarcher.com as well. I rarely ever promote that. But I do want to talk about the show. But we do have somebody who picked us up on our offer to be on the stream. So let me bring in the one, the only, Dave's Dimension.
Hey,
what is up,
what's
man?
up?
Good to see you. I feel like I've not talked to you like in a while.
Well,
But
we message off stream, so
I know. But
so
it's like
there is that.
it's like different because like I feel like usually I'm either in your chat or I'll jump on when you put a link or
Yeah.
you'll jump on mine when I put in a link. So I just feel like I haven't like verbally talked to you in a while, so I'm happy you joined.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
But hopefully, because I haven't done a stream in a few weeks.
True. That is true.
Because in fact, all day today I've been on the sinus meds
Oh, not doing well.
and sneezing and coughing, and that all day. That's my job. Is I'm on the phones all day, so
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
just been busy with that, running around doing paying the bills and holidays we did the running around to see all the relatives and all that good stuff. So
Right. But I like your little setup back there. You made some revisions.
it's a work in progress. The printer actually I'm having a little malfunction, but it can still
Oh
print.
no. Oh, okay, good.
The AMS unit that allows me to do different color printing all at once.
Mhm.
So right now I'm relegated to doing one color print right now. So,
Mm-hmm.
but that didn't slow me down. I sent you pictures yesterday.
Yeah, looks good.
So been playing around with that. So what show are we talking about? Creature Commandos?
We are talking about Creature Commandos.
I have to catch up. I'm several episodes behind because I was watching it through a friend's accounts, but the friend decided they were gonna no longer do HBO. So I'm just gonna have to, suck in the guts and go ahead and just throw in on a max subscription just so I can catch up.
That makes sense.
But I saw like the first 3 episodes.
Mm-hmm. What'd you think?
If he makes the movies like he's making the show, because I'm a diehard Peacemaker fan. The show after the first episode
was amazing.
Sunk me in for the whole series, and I can't wait for the second season.
Mm-hmm.
Creature Commandos, it's that off kilter, crazy 15-year-old kind of humor.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're reading comic books. I mean, it's got that kind of like, this hits teenagers in a vein. It hits the comic book fans in the vein. I thought it was amazing. And Alan Tudyk, if he doesn't get an Oscar someday, I don't know.
Yeah, it's
Like
true.
with the voices, because he's like doing 3 or 4. No, like he did Will Magnus, he did GI Robot. I mean, he's done so many different characters in that series so far. I'm like, he needs like an Emmy or an Oscar. He's just crazy at doing voices,
Yeah.
and he's amazing playing different characters. Whether it's Resident Evil, he played what's his name as assistant in one of the Transformer movies.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's just all over the place. He's amazing.
He's
He's
at this
insane.
point, he's like a star, like a Hollywood star guy. Like, because he's just been in so many things. It's like, if he's not going to be recognized for like an Academy Award or something because, you know, he's not in a major motion picture, like he needs to be on the Walk of Fame, which I found out. I don't know if it was my wife that told me. Somebody told me that you have to pay to be on the Walk of Fame, which I think is kind of BS. But
I mean, I guess if you get the money, if you really want people to walk all over your name, I mean, hey, if that's what you want to spend money on. I mean,
True.
but like Alan Tudyk, I mean, what's like the earliest thing you could think of him in?
I mean, I would just
I
think
think
of
of Knight's
Firefly.
Tale. Knight's Tale.
Oh wow! Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Shout out
I
to
mean,
you for that one.
he was in that. Of course, he was in Firefly and Serenity,
Mhm.
which still to this day, I'm like, that's still one of my guilty pleasures. I would just watch.
Is it a guilty pleasure
Resident.
though? I feel like it's not like the worst show.
What was it? Daryl and Tucker. Dale and Tucker
Versus the
against
World
Evil
or
or
something?
something. Something like versus Evil or something. That was kind of a crazy, zany kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm like Creature Commandos. I don't know. Like it was. I don't know. I mean, what's the best way to? What is something we can compare that to?
I mean, I think the
Is
obvious
there?
comparison to that, and actually, I just want to say hi real quick to a couple people who jumped in to the stream. We got Samson in the house. Been a minute. Good to see you. We got Paximus in the house. We got Dre in the house. We got Mega Dan in the house. So happy all of you guys joined in. I'm mad that you called out Knight's Tale. I forgot he was in that, and that's such a good movie. Such a good movie.
I mean, well, you know, me and Dre are such movie guys. So I mean, and
yeah.
by the way, shameless plug, Outer Dimension podcast returning later this month.
There you go. Love that. He's in
So
Patch Adams.
We're
Sorry,
gonna be doing
continue.
Friday nights.
Oh, you're going to Friday nights now.
Friday night lives around 10:30 p.m.
I love that.
So we're gonna try and lead into some other friends channels.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully swing. You know, we're trying to find a vibe because we were doing that on Wednesdays, but Wednesdays just I don't know. Wednesdays seem to be kind of busy for people, so we're gonna see what happens.
It's tough.
But yeah, I mean,
I got to say it's. We keep jumping topics, and it's I like that's how we talk. It's tough because you there's only so many hours in the evening for all of us.
Yeah.
And we're a friends group of not just like toy hunters, but we're all content creators. And doing lives is one of the things you kind of like have to do these days. And it's like you're gonna bump heads at some point, you know. But you also have to be consistent. So like if you're gonna be consistent, you're gonna bump heads with somebody, and then you're gonna have to just continue to bump heads with them, even though they're your friend. So
I mean, like Friday nights is Cobain's gaming night. Like he's doing Marvel Rivals now on Friday nights, and you know, it's gonna be one of those things where like, okay, 10:30, you know, me and Dre will be you know, doing our show. So I mean, it's you know, it's a thing. I mean, like you do Thursday nights, and then of course you know, trying to lead into Marvel. Marvel's you know,
wrestling. Yeah.
Is wrestling, yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's you know, I don't know. It's just that thing. You just have to kind of like understand, like, hey, doing streams, you're gonna run into other people's shows. You know, maybe you have a premiere going against someone else's show. I mean, you know, just because. I mean, it's like think TV networks. You know, do you think like, you know, do you think? Geez, I can't even think of anyone right now off the top of my head. But
I mean, I immediately go to Monday Night Wars. You know, it's always like the famous two shows going up against each other. But that was actually like blood feud type of thing.
And speaking of Monday Night Wars, for the first time in a couple of years, I watched Raw because it's on Netflix now. And you said it, I think in last week's stream, you touched on it, where it's like, hey, for the first time ever, if you cut the cord, which I did,
Mm-hmm.
if you cut the cord, this is like the first time you may be watching Raw in several years.
Mm-hmm.
And it was. But man, that was a banger. That I don't know, did you watch it?
So I ended up skipping it.
Okay.
But it's funny. Sal watched it,
It felt
and
like a pay-per-view.
yeah,
Like
he enjoyed it.
they kicked it up a notch. And well, there were a few maybe one appearance that got some boos. I'm gonna mention it politically. uh
I loved it.
but I was like, it was a banger. I mean, I'm messaging Dre, and Dre works usually in the evenings. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
because me and he's a big wrestling guy, and I'm messaging him like, dude, what year is this? We got
Yeah,
Undertaker, Cena, and The
yeah,
Rock on Monday Night Raw.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what the hell is going on here? And the matches were just fire matches. They were like, this is like pay-per-view.
I mean,
We had
they had a title
championships.
change on there, that's crazy
Yeah.
for a Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, the Rhea Ripley getting her
Mhm.
belt back. That was great. The well, the ultimate fight for the bloodline. That
Yeah,
was
I was
an
shocked when I
intense,
saw that they were fighting each other on Monday Night Raw.
and that was the kickoff.
Really?
That was pretty much that was like the first real match, because you had like The Rock coming out, and you had like I was and they kind of baby faced The Rock a little bit, I think.
I saw that. Yeah.
But of course, it's gonna turn sideways because he is the final boss. So and Cena doing his little campaigning that he's gonna be going for Royal Rumble. Like, hey, why not?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sorry, he was trying to sound like he did back in the day, but when you look at him, it's like, I'm sorry, I can't unsee the memes I've seen with him. People joked around like, oh, maybe he should be the next Ernest.
Yeah, he does look like Ernest.
I mean, in the face, he's only like a year, I think a year under me.
Really?
He's like 40, he's 47, I think now,
Here we
because I'm
go.
46.
I found the.
But no, it was. I enjoyed it. I was like, okay, if this is Triple H's, this is Paul Levesque's WWE Raw, then I'm curious to see what they do next. And obviously, they got the Netflix money, and then they do an after show press conference on YouTube now.
They've been doing that.
Well,
that's
I haven't been watching it, so
Yeah.
that was something new to me, and I was kind of digging it.
They started a little while ago doing this thing where wrestling was crossing a barrier of like trying to seem like a real sport, where
Okay.
and I don't mean that in a way of like them not being athletes or like wrestling fake. I'm not saying it like that, but they were crossing this line of like, oh, like UFC does post fights, like NBA and NFL, all these big sporting
Boxing
events,
matches, yeah, like
they do post fights. So like, why aren't we doing
sports
post fights?
entertainment.
Yeah, so they started doing that, and it's fun because they're staying in character. And
Yeah.
one of the things that Triple H said this week, which I thought was kind of crazy considering Netflix, all these new eyes are on there, is he was like, hey, we all know this is what it is. Like, we're going to have heels, we're going to have baby faces. We know what it is. So we're just embracing it. And I'm like, this is awesome. I'm like, it's helped with the storytelling of wrestling. It's helped refresh wrestling. And it's crazy to think Vince McMahon was very against a lot of what he's doing now. And it's like that's why everybody wanted Triple H and Stephanie to run the show, because the product we're getting now is what Vince kept putting a kibosh on.
He was instrumental in developing so many people. Rest in peace, Bray Wyatt.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the whole. I saw this. I was watching some videos, some like behind the scenes stuff from way back, and like him introducing the Lantern to Bray Wyatt. I'm like,
mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. I mean, Vince. Nothing against Vince. I mean, he was aggressive. He was hungry.
Yeah.
He took a lot of challenges. But when it comes down to it, who knows better? The son of the head of of the original organization, or someone who did wrestle, who did go through all the hardships of going from this federation or this company to this company.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, not for nothing. I mean, he was there in the Raw era, the Raw,
The
Raw is
Attitude Era.
War.
Yeah.
You mentioned the Monday Night Battles.
Mm-hmm.
When they invaded, the what was it,
WCW.
Monday Night Nitro, when
Mhm.
they came in on like a tank and a
Yep.
jeep, and
Yep.
him and Sean,
Yep.
and now it's him and Sean running the creatives
Yeah.
and bringing people up. I mean, I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, do you want someone? And let's be honest. I mean, how many times has there been sexual allegations against Vince McMahon? Yeah, it was time for him to just kind of like fade into obscurity. But who knows?
Well, the crazy part was that he did leave and then came back because it was time to go public. And that was kind of like the final FU was Vince McMahon saying that I'm back to sell the company. I'm not giving it to my daughter and my son-in-law who did a great job when he was gone. Like when he left was when a bunch of people came back in that had left the company, like a CM Punk. And then he's like, oh, but actually I'm going to do you dirty. Like my dad was trying to do me dirty, and I'm going to sell this bitch from under you. And if they keep you, they keep you. If they don't, they don't,
And they're already prospering. So, I mean,
yeah.
I mean, look from Triple H's perspective. He's like, okay, you know what? You're going to sell it? Fine. But we're still going to, obviously him and Stephanie have interest. So they're still shareholders. So they're still going to be making money. Even if they're not in the creative controls, they're still going to be making money. They maybe not as much. But now, I mean, he obviously he was doing a lot of talent development. And so much so that they knew that McMahon wasn't going to be in charge anymore. And they knew that, okay, Levesque is in charge, or Levesque is in talent development. And wow, he's one of us. He understands us. He knows what we're trying to do, or he will actually work with us. He's obviously more approachable than Vinnie Mac was.
Mm-hmm.
He's more approachable. He's on the same wavelength. It's like in the NFL. If you get a former football player who then steps up and gets a job as a defensive coordinator and then gets to be a coach, that person understands not just the authoritative or the administrative aspect. They also understand where the players are coming from.
Yeah.
And if he says, hey, you know what? I like these ideas, but how about we try this first? They're going to be more apt to doing that because they know he's been where they are now. Well, I think that's a big part.
But the difficult part, and where I play devil's advocate with a lot of it, is so right now AEW is the other player, which at this point they're not even a contender. Like at one point they were coming up like they were going to be a contender to WWE, or as I still like to call it,
laughed
WWF.
because I was messaging with Dre before, and even he said something similar, I believe. That AEW is not even a contender. They're not.
No.
I mean, didn't they strike a deal with Max now? I think.
They're on Max.
Which still, I mean, let's be honest. Max is a nice streaming service. It's made up of a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm.
But, and I know this is a hot take, I don't think Max can compare with Netflix.
Oh no, I mean that's not a hot take. I don't think anybody would debate. I mean, you could debate that as far as like originals, maybe, but you can't debate that as far as eyes. Like Netflix at this point.
Yet to watch the Penguins, still, believe it or not.
That's crazy. But Netflix is like the Kleenex, right? Netflix is Xerox. Like those are not the names of like that media, but that's the buzzword name of that industry. So when you think wrestling, you think WWE. When you think streaming, you think Netflix. But what I was going to say with AEW is there's an example of the talent at a certain point has too much say. When you go back to WCW, the reason that fell off was the wrestlers were controlling too much and Bischoff lost control. So that's where you're like, all right, we can all Monday morning quarterback. Oh, things would have been better if Vince a long time ago let the wrestlers start having more say in things. But then at the same time, we've seen examples where that's failed and WWE did not. So it's like, what ends up being the right way, the right option, the right move. But I mean, I think what they're doing now is awesome. The fact that
Yeah.
even though the company got sold, they kept Triple H was great. And yeah, Sean is doing creative on NXT, I believe.
Yes.
So and they got the fans backing them, which is nuts. Because they're just not shitheads about it. Like Triple H and Sean just don't seem to be shitheads, and giving people chances, letting people roll.
I mean, they're grounded.
Yeah.
They're grounded compared to their characters were. They understand that. Also, you touched on WCW. Let's be honest. I mean, WCW ran amok.
Yeah.
They really did. I mean, the concepts of NWO were great.
Yeah.
Okay. Especially when they did the different factions, they were great. But when you start letting the inmates run the asylum,
Exactly.
that's when everything falls apart. We saw that with WCW. We saw that somewhat with ECW, but I think there were many other factors involved. There's too many, you had too many restaurants competing with each other on one square block. That was part of the issue.
Yeah.
I think a big issue there. But with WWE, there was, of course, you had Vince, but then you had the influences of former wrestlers kind of working with some people. Was it Doc Hendricks and a few others? And he did not look good. They showed him on Raw, and he has not been aging well. But that's the thing. You got, like, at least with Paul, at least with AKA Triple H. He's a wrestler, but he's also, he knows, he's definitely learned and gained enough of the back office, of the back end, that he knows, okay, hey, we can do this, or hey, you want to do this, I'm going to let you run with this, but do it within a certain reasoning. He's got his hand on the steering wheel. He's not letting the vehicle lose control. And I think they're finding a balance. I mean, I think they're finding a real balance. I mean, as far as I know, Shane doesn't do anything anymore.
No, he's
And
rumored
I think Steph
to be at AEW.
AEW, okay. But I mean, we saw things kind of go sideways with TNA, and I mean, there's been a couple different attempts at the competing wrestling organizations, but when it comes down to it, WWE has always been the big one. I mean, I would have loved to have seen ECW evolved and grow properly, but I think there's too many factors that were just too volatile, too unbalanced.
Well,
I mean, I remember going to see ECW live.
Yeah.
Those were some hell amazing shows.
I mean, and what's cool is that WWE has like embraced the fact that ECW exists and has tried to do similar type events and shows. But I mean, this video here, if you guys don't know it, is a wrestler named Sandman, and he used to come out to Enter Sandman from Metallica. And this is from a show over at Hammerstein Ballroom in New York City. It's like one of the greatest entrances of all time. I feel like this entrance, the Goldberg at Halloween Havoc, those are like in the top 3 of my favorite entrances. And this vibe of ECW is what made ECW what it is. Like, this was Attitude Era, but like rated R. Like this, like pushed it.
Oh, anyone who's never seen an ECW show, what you're seeing now, it's borderline PG-13, where because like you said, Hammerstein Ballroom, they used to come to Buffalo, New York a lot. We have this college downtown called Erie Community College, and they had the Burt Flickinger Center, which was the athletic center, completely standalone complex. They would have ECW there all the time. And you'd have people, handing the rest, because you saw him coming through the audience. That practically almost half the roster did that. I mean, that's where Taz came from, the Dudleys. I mean, so many people came through there. Sabu. I mean, and half the time you're handing them your own chair and you'd
Yeah.
be standing up for the rest of the event. You'd be standing or
Yeah.
sitting on the floor. And they just like, it was like, yes, wrestling is scripted, but that's them putting their lives on the line. I mean,
Yeah.
real kendo sticks, tacks, nails. I mean, yeah, it was intense. And yeah, if you went to ECW, there was going to be blood.
But that's what that's where
They just went so hardcore.
I mean, but yet at a certain point you have to get to a state where like, all right, the next logical thing is just to kill somebody on camera because we've already done it all, right? Like you like at a certain point with something with a product
Vince did.
Oof.
Owen.
Jeez.
I mean, come on, you're gonna have somebody zip line and I have some kind of safety apparatuses.
No,
I mean,
so he did. It turns out that manufacturer ended up saying after the fact that there was an issue with that harness. They got them to admit that later on. It took years. But no, they did everything right. It was the harness or the, I don't know, whatever company.
I mean, I'm just saying, it's for anyone that says wrestling is fake. No, it's scripted. The stunts are real.
Stunts are real.
I mean, come on. Yeah. How many times Mick Foley messed up his body going off the top of the cage or, landing on tacks. And I mean, that's real. So,
yeah. I want to say hi to a couple people who jumped in and then let's talk Creature Commandos. We have Sin in the house. I think this is your first time on the stream. I don't remember seeing your name here. So, welcome. Scooby Life in the house. Good to see you. Cutthroat in the house. Good to see you. I know Dre was here. Josh in the house. Good to see you. And I think I caught Millennium in the house. Good to see you. He said, "Is that his thong back there? Did you leave that at your house?"
yeah. The on the HasLab, I have the yellow bumper from Frozen Empire.
Yeah,
he made that.
Yeah,
and he did an amazing, beautiful job. Looking at it,
does he know how to do any other job other than amazing
parts?
Mm-hmm.
No. Yes. My pack has his thong on it. So yeah. I went with the garage shelving, and these are actually deeper ones, so I have enough room for the packs, and I got the PKE up there from the two in a box.
Are those the Home Depot ones? Harbor Freight.
What? Actually, I got these on Walmart.
Oh.
Sometimes if you go hunting on Walmart, you can get some pretty good deals. So
yeah.
I am actually going to cover up the holes because usually you use like a black electrical tape.
Yep.
I have it's Ghostbusters, so you got to do the hazard stripe.
Yes, there you go. Love that.
So I have all my Ghostbusters stuff right there behind me, and of course I have the Hot Toys right there.
This guy's balling over here.
I treated myself after busting my butt and doing some wheeling and dealing. I have 3 new Hot Toys. Let me see, 3? Yeah, 3 new Hot Toys. Black and gold Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
No Way Home. Doctor Strange, No Way Home.
Mm-hmm.
And I got the integrated suit Spider-Man Deluxe diorama with him. So that just came in today. And I also got the Clone Wars Ahsoka Tano.
Oh.
But she's not mine. I will be giving her away this spring for Stream for a Cure.
Oh, there you go.
So we're giving away a Hot Toy this spring for the fundraiser for Ride for Roswell. So I got that going on.
Love that.
I did get a few you haven't seen yet. I got Thor Endgame.
I saw that just now when you turned it.
Goodness.
Yeah.
I got my hands on Spider-Man homemade suit from Homecoming. So that's one I really wanted to get. So yeah, I've been getting a few.
So where's the Ecto 1 going to go behind you?
Well, what you can't see right now is I actually have some room on the lower 2 shelves. But what I may do is I may shuffle things around, and because you figure what I might do is I might move the packs lower. Because I think if I have the Ecto, I might want him displayed a little bit higher. So we'll see. Yeah. I also have a section over here with my Duffman diorama firehouse facade that he made. So
Nice.
Although it doesn't scale with that Ecto 1, so who knows? I might have to commission someone to do one, or we'll
Print
see
it.
what happens.
You have to print it.
But yeah,
Uh,
don't 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 tempt me, because you have no idea. The other day I was on Maker World, and there are dioramas you can 3D print.
yeah, yeah. People are
There's a
starting to put those out.
no, these are ones like they're like maybe about yay wide, about
Mhm.
yay high. And there is one that I'm tempted to do for one of my Superman figures, because there's
Mm.
like an ice kind of. It
Oh
looks like
yeah,
it could be from the fortress.
yeah.
So there's a few things, and once I get everything finished up with getting that repaired, oh yeah, because this way I won't have to paint. I
Yeah.
can just do the
Change the
multicolor
colors.
printing, and this is one piece. Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
So
Well, you asked a question earlier when we started talking about DC and Max and Creature Commandos, and as a recap, in case any of you do not follow us on Instagram, actually I put it on YouTube as well. The series just wrapped. This week was the final episode of the first season. I think I already got approved for 2 more seasons. 4.5 out of 5 is what I gave it. I did want to give Creature Commandos a 4. I also wanted to give it a 5. So I'm just going to meet in the middle. But you posed the question earlier, is what could you compare the show to?
yeah,
As far as everything else that we've gotten. And I do think it actually is more Peacemaker than it is Harley Quinn. I feel like Harley Quinn is a easy answer to say. What is it like as far as like the animation and the
Another-
violence and all that? But I feel like it's
another
actually,
cartoon featuring Alan Tudyk.
yeah. He's everywhere. But the show was absolutely amazing. If any of you have not started it, now's a good time because you can watch the whole season. This is not for kids. I will say that.
Oh no, that
Yeah.
wow.
Definitely not.
Yeah. You definitely don't want little Susie and Johnny watching this.
Yeah.
Definitely
The,
not.
the only complaint I had is something that I think's been a complaint for me with a lot of shows, and that's having an entire season revolving around one thing. Like I'm
What one arc?
yeah. So like right now, JB of JB's Toy Trunk, he messaged me actually. Well, we message all the time, but if you guys remember last week, he was on the show and I was telling him, or he told me, hey, I'm finally going to start watching Justice League. I swear I'm going to start watching. So he actually has. He's been watching a bunch of Justice League, and
The cartoon, or
the cartoon.
okay,
And I told him, do Justice League first, and then you do Unlimited. You can't.
yes,
Don't do reverse. I also gave him the heads up that there's going to be some Justice League Unlimited to me is all fan service. So like, there's going to be things
Yes,
that he
it is.
won't. Yeah, there's going to be things he won't get because he didn't watch animated series. He didn't watch Batman Beyond. So there's things that'll fly over his head, but I feel like he still can enjoy it. But what was great about all of those 2 shows and even the old school shows is they were episodic, where you could just watch an episode and you didn't necessarily have to have watched the previous one.
no.
And
I
we
mean-
don't do that anymore in shows. Now shows are all,
You have to have arcs.
they're all an arc. Yeah. And I think actually, something that we both enjoy, I think that's something that Strange New Worlds does well, is that there is an arc, but technically it's like backstory to everything
You
else.
can still pick it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you missed up an episode, you're not going to be lost.
You're not completely lost. Yeah. But with Creature Commandos, that was my only complaint. What they did well was introduce you to all the characters, and every episode you learn how the character got to where they are. I thought the one with Weasel, it was like hands down the freaking saddest shit I've ever seen in my life. That was like such a good episode.
I thought he died at the end of Suicide Squad, but then I think, did he survive? I wasn't too sure.
Post credit, he gets
Yeah.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too. Like if you have not seen the Suicide Squad, which I consistently tell you guys to watch, you could still watch the show. There will be a spoiler for that movie, so beware. You might start it and be like, oh wait, oh that happened, that sucks. But If you don't watch the movie, whatever, just roll with it. This show, I mean, like I
I
said,
mean,
so good.
you know what? I mean, to compare, because to just touch base on Suicide Squad, James Gunn's Suicide Squad, I should say,
Yeah,
to be safe.
the Suicide
uh,
Squad.
yeah, definitely is kind of like a DC's service of the boys,
Yes.
as far as like
Yeah.
WTF moments,
Hmm.
and that you're not going to be able to predict what's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's kind of, I think that's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I'm gonna watch. I think this weekend I'm gonna finish watching the rest of Creature Commandos, because like the first episode, one thing Gunn always does is not only does he knows how to pick people and cast people without like them having an idea. Uh, I'm talking to you, Jason Momoa. We all come on. We all knew
Yes.
that was going to happen. We all knew he
But did
was.
we? Because we wanted that forever, and Snyder didn't do it.
And Momoa wanted that because he
Yeah.
was a Lobo fan. So I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's gonna happen. I'm like, if anything, they're gonna recast him because one, Warner Brothers burned bridges with Cavill. We know that.
Yeah.
Affleck, he really hasn't done anything
They burned the
super
bridges with
big.
him too.
Yeah. Gal, I mean, she, what is she doing?
She
We
burned the
not
bridge.
really. Yeah. So I mean, you know, Jason Momoa, he's like, he obviously he was having fun with Aquaman.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, whenever we looked at him, even way back in Game of Thrones,
Yeah.
you saw Lobo in his face.
Yeah.
He's always been like, even hell, going back to Stargate and Atlantis, he was kind of that Lobo. He was kind of the gruff, big, he didn't really give a crap about what people thought. And like, yeah, he could definitely be a Lobo, and it's gonna happen. And
Yeah.
now we know it. But like Creature Commandos, I'm like, the first episode sunk me in
Yeah.
because James Gunn knows how to pick people, and the music.
Yeah.
The music fits so good in the episodes that it's like, as someone who was a DJ years ago, I love music. I love all kinds of music.
Mhm.
And when I come across a movie and someone throws in a song that I normally would never have thought would be good for a movie
Mhm.
and kills it. In fact, last night I rewatched Dawn of the Dead,
Oh.
okay, the remake. And the music still fits perfectly in there.
Yeah.
And I think think of Guardians of the Galaxy. All the music fit perfect. He chose the music perfectly. Hell, Peacemaker, the music, some of it's dated, but it fits perfectly, and it makes those scenes, it makes those sequences, and just makes everything so much better.
Mhm.
I mean, hell, going to Peacemaker, who would have thought, okay, let's have John Cena. Obviously, he played Peacemaker in the Suicide Squad movie. Spoiler alert. And then who do we get to play his damn father, who's a total racist? Robert Patrick. And it just dawned on me the other day. I was watching this one interview, and Robert Patrick says, "Well, Gunn knows how to pick chemistry, but then then he didn't realize me and John Cena have chemistry. We were in the Marine
The
together." I'm
Marine,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, damn,
Yeah.
that's true."
Yeah.
But it's like he has this gift for picking people,
Yeah.
and obviously for putting his now wife in the show. Uh,
Well, people do
but
get mad at James Gunn because they say that he
a little bit of nepo in a way.
yeah, but I hate it because like nobody says that to Adam Sandler. Like they don't tell him like, oh, you keep hiring the same Happy Gilmore dudes to be in your stuff, or they don't say it to Kevin Smith. But like for James Gunn, it's
Yeah.
like we got to find something to be mad at him about. Oh, you keep casting your wife and stuff. You keep casting your brother and stuff. But as
And,
though we're
I
getting
mean,
shitty products though. Like we're not.
yeah, but okay, as far as like complaining about, hey, you throw your brother in everything, so does Sam Raimi. He's thrown Ted Raimi into every damn production he's ever done.
Mm-hmm.
Dark Man, I mean, and everything. So you can't, people can't sit there and get mad if they are, well, then they're overprivileged little children sitting, still sitting in their mom's basement somewhere, ordering pizza and eating Hot Pockets while playing Warcraft. Uh, but
Oh, yeah,
I mean, that's the thing. But one, Sean Gunn he's pretty great.
he's awesome.
He's a lovable character as
Yeah.
Kraglin in Guardians. I mean, hell, I remember seeing him in, like, my wife is a big fan of Gilmore Girls, and so is Dre's wife. I know,
Mhm.
it's like we've seen Sean Gunn playing these parts, and he's an awesome person in real life. By the way,
Yeah.
he's awesome to meet in real life. But I mean, you get someone who can play different characters, and I mean, were you really going to get mad because he was voicing the Weasel?
Yeah.
Which you're just hearing it kind of gag and whimper and make these like choking sounds. I mean, you're really gonna get mad at that? I mean, you know, Sam Raimi did that for his brother Ted in so many movies, the Spider-Man movies with Toby. I'm like, the same thing as he gives Bruce Campbell a role in everything.
Yeah.
And well, let's be honest, it's Bruce Campbell, so it's we kind of roll with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, hey, if you're the king, it's good to be the king. You can do that kind of stuff. And let's be honest, his now wife, which was his girlfriend, then fiance, when she did Peacemaker and of course Suicide Squad, she played small roles in Suicide Squad, but then a little bit more of a meteor role in Peacemaker. But hey, you're gonna make her kind of like the love-hate interest for John Cena. She played the role pretty well, I think, pretty decent.
Yeah. She was great.
And she's easy on the eye, so you can't fault him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So hey, I mean, as long as he keeps that passion going. I mean, I hated seeing the end of the DC universe as we saw it. I hated what happened to Cavill, but Sean Gunn, he does some pretty amazing stuff. He's done amazing stuff, so I'm gonna roll with it. Side note, I don't care for the Superman trailer, but we'll see what happens when it comes out.
I mean, there's no way you can hate that trailer because Nathan Fillion's in it. Like you're telling me you're gonna go against
because they made Nathan Fillion look chunky. They made him look like this. They gave him extra chin right there, and instead of being a redhead, they made him like blonde. And the outfit just looks, I don't know. It looks like Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner. It's like Guy Gardner stole Kyle Rayner's white and black kind of scheme and made his outfit that way. I mean, there's that. I'm curious to see how they play Mr. Terrific. If he's going to be an overly pompous, intelligent person, or are they going to play him a little bit more, human? Like the Arrowverse did. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of iteration we get of Hawkgirl with Shira. I mean, is she going to be more, Justice League like, or is she going to be more, I don't know, more hardcore? I mean, it's going to be curious to see what happens because all we've seen is what we saw in that teaser trailer, which wasn't a whole lot. They were like little glimpses. I am, I'm more psyched to see. I'm curious to see. I want more of Lex Luthor. I want to see how his Lex Luthor is going to be.
But I mean, for once, we got a legit teaser trailer. Like every 5 seconds now, we get a teaser trailer that's like 5 minutes long. This one that came out was like a legit teaser. Like it wasn't 30 seconds, but it didn't give you much outside of just showing you characters, set pieces. That kind of thing. But I just, I don't at this moment.
Crypto should be bigger. That's all I'm going to say.
I just have no reason. James Gunn right now, as I stutter my way through this, James Gunn in 2024 into 25 is Dave Filoni back in like 2018. Like you have somebody
disagree with that. I cannot.
You have somebody who the fans are just so behind that he can do no wrong. To me, there's no way this movie can suck unless it turns into a Dave Filoni.
He is one of us. He's just a lucky one of us.
We thought Dave was too, and eventually, the Disney machine does its thing. Will at some point Warner Brothers do their thing? But currently now,
that's always a possibility. That is a
Yeah.
very strong possibility, because once they say, "Hey, you know what? We think you should be doing this,"
Yeah.
and the thing is, we know he is not the sole head of the DC branch of Warner Brothers,
But
because he
he's
has
higher than what Dave and John are.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's got that other person with him who I
Mhm.
think is more the corporate suit that's supposed to keep
Yes.
him in financial check.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. I mean, if he works the magic he did over at Marvel,
Yeah.
if he works that magic, I mean, you know what's going to happen. Movie tickets here, just
Yeah.
take it.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything, I mean, we all know as nerds,
Yeah.
a superhero movie, sure, I'll watch it on streaming, but what's better, seeing it on a big screen? Although I hope the trend of the popcorn buckets goes away, because I spent so much last year. No,
Don't tell
like
Geekstrong that.
because I mean, I went. Do you know how many different Ghostbuster popcorn buckets I have?
I mean, there's probably 5 of them.
I think about 5, because I have 2 traps.
2 traps. The car.
I have the Slimer.
Mm-hmm.
I have the Slimer. No, I have the car from Afterlife. I still have that. Although, in the grand scheme of things, that wasn't the greatest one. And I have like the aluminum, the metal Slimer buckets. I have like 2 of those. So I do have 5, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's expensive just going to the theaters alone, then dropping like what, $35-$40 for a bucket.
Well, the thing is, they made them actually good. At the end of the day, it's not like the popcorn buckets became popular that should have been the story of last year. I don't know why I forgot about that, but
Year of the buckets.
yeah, last year was the year of the popcorn bucket. Like, we were going to buy popcorn with not watching a movie.
I heard people were going crazy for the Gladiator one though.
Because that one I heard was cool.
Concept.
Yeah, it had the little virtual thing in there. But
do the virtual thing, and if you do physical media, have it where like the physical media can, like, I don't know, be like a display centerpiece of the popcorn bucket thing.
Yeah.
That could be something cool. But wait a minute, physical media? Who does that?
But I mean, come on, like right now, looking at this list, like what is there to really doubt here? And somebody earlier was saying, release Coyote versus Acme. Like, I'm sure that's going to be awesome too. But we have Superman coming out, we have Peacemaker coming out, and then when you go with previous, I mean, he's been killing it. And
even the Guardians holiday special was pretty
good. Yeah,
was pretty entertaining. I mean, we watched it again for this Christmas, obviously.
Yeah,
but I mean, what was the one horror movie he did way back when?
There was a cheerleader one or something.
No, I'm thinking the one. It was like a spider kind of a. What was
Slither?
Slither. That one.
Yeah.
Which, of course, it had a lot of the people, because he likes to reuse the same handful of actors. But I mean, he really does a pretty damn good job at it. So, yes, Slither, of course. I mean, he likes to use Nathan Fillion. Yeah, Dawn of the Dead, because like I said, I mentioned that I rewatched that today or last night, which is still a really good watch.
Yeah,
and I don't know. I think zombie movies are kind of dead now. Although I am looking forward to, was it 28 years later?
28 years later, yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that, because I enjoyed the hell out of the first one. 28 days later, 28 weeks later, I enjoyed. So
I mean, are you forgetting about a TV show?
The Gawking Dead?
No. What was like the number one TV show 2 years ago? 1 year ago? God, when did that show come out? I think it was 2 years ago.
Are you talking about the Last of Us? I'm looking forward to season 2. I know people who tried to play the game for the first time while watching it week by week to try and see if they can kind of keep up. I'm like, it's they're going to jump certain things, but that was a really good show. The Last of Us was a really good show.
Yeah,
I'm curious to see what happens with the time jump.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's cool to see video games being adapted into TV shows, which is now a trend. Twisted Metal.
I
I
think
enjoyed Twisted Metal.
I think it got a season 2, didn't it? When they announced
Yeah,
the season 2 of that.
it got. They're making a season 2 right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fallout.
Fallout was
A
good.
surprisingly damn good show.
Yeah.
It's like, wait a minute. We used to have this trend of having video games turned into terrible movies, sometimes awesomely bad movies. Super Mario Brothers,
That's exactly
Double
what I was thinking.
Dragon,
Exactly what I was
Double
thinking.
Dragon.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had some. Sometimes, there are exceptions that do make a lot of money at the box office, but mainly because of the actress in it, Tomb
Yeah.
Raider with Angelina.
Yep.
But I mean, for the most part, you really didn't have anything like really, really greats for years. But now we have this trend, like we can turn video games into really good TV shows, except if you're Amazon and you try to make Halo. And that's all we're gonna say about that.
God, that man. I want to say hi to a couple people who jumped in since we were talking. General Kenobi's Bunker in the house.
Yes.
Good to see you. Congratulations once again. Scooby Life. I think somebody else had jumped in. K Walk in the house. Good to see you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I said hi to Scooby before. I'll say hi again. Yeah, Halo. But no, I mean, you're right. Like at this point, I feel like we've been getting more hits than misses. And I feel like these days,
that's a great thing.
Yeah. And these days, the only misses that we're getting, it seems to be, outside of Halo, it seems to be things coming out of Disney, which is crazy because they have the most money. But everybody else is putting out, some
are we
nerdy
referring
things.
to Marvel Disney shows?
Yeah.
I mean, I actually really enjoyed Winter Soldier and Falcon.
Yes.
Okay. I enjoyed that. I wish we could get a little bit more of that. Wanda was definitely a slow burn.
Mm-hmm. It was good.
Secret Invasion, in the continuity of things, just did not sit well.
It was awful.
Because you have him being so dark and sinister, like being conspiracy driven, but then you throw him being all happy-go-lucky, making cracking jokes left and right in the Marvels, the Sam Jackson's Nick Fury. It could have been so much better. It definitely could have been way so much better. Wanda, there was some interesting takes on it, but and the Agatha show, just like I watched all the way through, it just kind of rolled on. She-Hulk just felt like it tried too hard. It tried too hard. Like it was trying to be Alec McBeal vs. Deadpool, kind of like, or like a Ferris Bueller talking to the camera, fourth wall break. It just felt like it was trying too hard. I'm looking forward to Daredevil.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that's the redemption. Because, well, there is one show that blew them all out of the water.
Oh, God. Don't say freaking Jessica Jones.
I was going to say X-Men.
Oh, animated.
97,
Yeah.
I mean, it's still a Marvel Disney show.
Technically, yeah.
So, no, Jessica Jones, I would like to see more of that, but I think if they do kind of like what Netflix did, they introduce a little at a time. Let's establish the Daredevil universe, the Daredevil show first, and let's make sure it is a hit.
Yeah.
Because they can say, "Oh yeah, we're going to do this, we're going to do that." You know what? You can have amazing moments, and they wind up just being a few amazing moments.
Yeah.
And the rest of the season could be just crap. I don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
We want Marvel to, I mean, hell, the Netflix series, the Marvel Netflix shows were amazing. Except for Iron Fist.
Yes.
I mean, it had a few nice moments, but for the most part, yeah, it wasn't the greatest. Yeah. But I mean, Punisher. Now there's rumors about a Punisher series possibly.
He's going to be in Daredevil.
Yeah. So, I mean, Daredevil was great. I enjoyed Jessica Jones. Bring back Luke Cage. I want to see we need to see what happened to Luke. Did he get corrupted? Did he find his way back? That to me, that was like one of the biggest arcs left, because Jessica, she's like she's like a novel.
Yeah.
You can pick up a different crime story or different situation, you can just pick it up, right?
Yeah.
Luke Cage, he was like, out of the Netflix shows, I really loved Daredevil, but Luke Cage was my favorite Netflix show.
Luke Cage is your favorite.
Yeah, I mean, Luke
Wow.
Cage to me, because Luke Cage was always, to me, like how Michael Coulter played him. He played him
Yes.
like a real, to me, I felt like he was a real person.
Yes.
You could feel him. You can understand the frustrations. The music, I can't even talk about the music. Was just
Yeah.
it hits another level. Like we were talking about James Gunn picking music, the music that whoever was picking the music and organizing all the acts for the show, seasons 1 and 2, they friggin' killed it.
Yeah.
Now maybe because where I grew up in Buffalo, I was not. I I mean, I grew up listening to Naughty by Nature, Eric B. and Rakim, Wu-Tang. I mean, I grew up in the hood area of Buffalo. So that was my music, was everything that's R&B and hip hop. That's what I raised on. My sister was a headbanger. I was that was my music. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and and plus growing up in the I was a little kid in the 80s and teen in the 90s. So I mean, that was just like hearing that vibe that just
Yeah.
it killed it. And plus I laughed my ass off every time I saw Method Man show up.
Yeah. I wish I liked that series more. I couldn't watch season 2. Season 2, I think, if we're thinking chronologically,
Yeah.
the season 2 was coming out after they already said, or there was rumors of them ending everything. And when season 2 came out, I just couldn't get into it. And then
Because
I
you
tried
kind of knew
rewatching.
there was no future
There's
for
no
it.
future. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I tried watching it recently, season 2, and I just couldn't get into it.
Mhm.
But I love, like you said, the music, and that's my neighborhood. Like that's where my mom still
Yeah.
lives.
Okay.
Everywhere, all these set pieces. I'm like, oh, that's this street. That's this street. That's this street. So to me, there was almost like cheating. Like there was too much of the relation to the scene.
Mhm.
But I mean, Daredevil right now this year, if Marvel hits with Daredevil, if it hits somehow with Falcon, Captain America,
Fingers crossed on that, because like
yeah,
I
and Thunderbolts. I
mean
mean, come on, if those three hit, I mean,
I
we
think
could be back in a golden age of Marvel.
I think the bright side for Thunderbolts is what's his name, David Barber,
Harbor,
Harbor, David Harbor. We know he's hilarious,
yeah,
and like the whole relationship between his character and Yelena,
mm-hmm.
Florence Pugh, those two are comic gold. And then you're gonna throw the sarcastic demeanor of
Bucky,
Bucky.
mm-hmm.
I think if you get like the interaction between those three, I think are going to be the highlight of that movie. So we can only hope that the rest of it is going to be well. I've heard of I saw some report. Someone said that the Thunderbolts is pretty much the Breakfast Club of Marvel.
Yes, I saw that.
So I'm like, is that just someone saying it, or I mean, it would be great if it is.
But don't sleep on
It would be
Wyatt.
great if it is.
Can't sleep on Wyatt Russell, because him in Falcon with the Soldier. I mean, to me, he was the runaway star of that show.
I don't want to say he's the rise out star, but he was necessary. I mean, in retrospect, I hated him in the beginning because
Of course.
Well, but he was great at being an ass. He was great at being that villain. I'm trying not to use any bad words, but he was great at being a bit of a prick. He really was. And the fact that he looked like Mr. Magoo when he put the helmet on, I mean, come on. He looked like the old guy from Up, put in a Captain America outfit. Let's be honest.
But think like
I wonder
that,
if they designed the helmet to do that to him, to just make him look so terrible.
the dude was the #1 hated
His
man
face
in
is
America
pushed.
off of just this one scene. No
Yes.
words, nothing.
But
Just literally
he
just
was
walked out holding the shield with that face.
But I liked him in Monarch.
Yes, he. I don't like the show, but he's good. He's good.
Me and Dre were both fans of Monarch.
Yeah.
But I mean, and the thing is, that was genius putting him in that show, because he's playing the younger version of his father.
Of his dad, yeah.
And his father was in the show. And let's be honest, I mean, the Russell family can act their asses off. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's just that guy who you kind of love to hate. You know,
I have a fear about
well,
Thunderbolts.
the character he played, anyways.
Right.
You know,
right. My fear of Thunderbolts is, actually, I don't know if I want to say it because it might be a spoiler. Do you know
Batman shows up.
Do you know? Yeah. Well, do you know all the heroes that are in the movie at the moment?
We have what? Ghost.
Yep.
Is it Taskmaster?
Yep.
Of course, we have U.S. Agent. Are they going to call him U.S. Agent, or are they going to call him something else?
I'm just pulling up the poster. That's a good question. I'm not sure.
They're going to call him American Agent to make him sound like rival to a Captain America or something. I don't know.
Well, all right. So we have the poster. What I'm getting at here is, so we have, like you said, for some reason we have Ghost. For some reason we have Taskmaster. They don't need to be here. But
any movie Florence Pugh is in, I will watch. I'm sorry, she's my little celebrity crush right now, because she's freaking hilarious and she's hot. I'm sorry.
Well, all right. So we have Florence, we have Red Guardian, we have Bucky, we have U.S. Agent, and then we have this character here that I don't know if a lot of people know who that is.
Where? On what's
on the left?
Upper left?
Lower left here.
Oh,
sorry. I forgot you guys can't see my mouse. On the left side.
I'm trying to think. I know of him. I can't think of him right now. Not the name of it.
So the character,
the one that winds up getting, like, he's like, was he like in a straitjacket or something at one point in the trailer? Yeah. And so, he's going to be like a super powered. He's like going to be like the real super powered backup, so to speak.
Well, my fear is that this is just too much of the Flash. Like, it's just like, and we've seen it in the trailer. I'm not gonna say too much, because if somebody does not know what I'm talking about, then I'd rather you kind of go in not knowing. But
now, are you talking Flash movie or Flash TV show?
Flash movie.
Okay.
They go in to get somebody, and then it turns out like, oh, now we got to like go against that person or something. Like, I don't know. I don't want the movie to be too much of like, I've seen this before. That's gonna be my fear. I'm optimistic because I like all the players.
You don't want it to be a situation where, okay, these guys aren't getting along, and then, oh, yeah, we're on this mission, and then, in order to, the person we were supposed to, let's say hypothetically, the person we were supposed to save turns out to be the big bad, and now, the only way we're going to get out of this is if
we band together.
Now we're a team.
Yeah.
No, yeah. If they do that, that's going to be trash.
Yeah.
You gotta have people butting heads. Although I am going to throw this out there. Are we going to get like a little hint of, like, I don't know, like a love-hate between Bucky and Yelena?
No.
Because I could...
Bucky, it's already established. Already established. Yeah. Bucky, he likes chocolate.
Yes, he does.
He didn't hang out in Wakanda just for the hell of it.
Hey, what's up, Sarah? Yeah. Hey, no, but I mean, like, if you think about it, remember how her sister used to flirt, playfully flirt a little bit, faintly, in the Winter Soldier movie with Cap.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see I can see them, but I can ultimately see them being more like, I don't know, just definitely friends. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what what the dynamic is. I just know that between her, him, and was it Red Guardian?
Yep.
Those three are just. I just think that that's gonna be the comic relief, because we know Bucky can be sarcastic. He can be a badass. He can be everything. Sebastian Stan he's just awesome. He's awesome in everything he's in.
Yeah.
We know Florence can be hilarious because we saw her in the Hawkeye series with her and Kate Bishop.
Yep. A show that nobody remembers, and it was really good.
It was really good. It was really amazing. I love the chemistry between her and Haley Steinfeld, the future Mrs. Josh Allen, by the way. And I love the interaction with them. I would love to just watch a show with those two, like going on missions and just arguing with each other half the time. I think it would be hilarious.
Yeah.
You know? And Florence Pugh, she really showcased her comedy. She has perfect comedy timing in there. Nothing against the Black Widow movie, but I think she showed off her comic timing a little bit better in that show. In the little bit that she was, parts that she was in, I thought that was great. I thought that was way better. And I think, putting something like a situation like that where maybe they're going on missions and they just, are butting heads all the time. I think that would be a half decent show compared to, let's say, I know there's people who loved Agatha. I thought Agatha was okay, but it felt just kind of soulless, so to speak. It felt like it was missing something big. I think a lot of shows, I think for the fans who feel like, what is this? Because it's missing something. It's missing that kind of juvenile comedy. I mean, that's why a lot of us we still love comic books, because that's a part of our adolescence in a way, I mean, why do we love watching The Boys? Because it's our adolescent dark humor and situations just amplified to 11 and twisted for our adult mature ages.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Florence Pugh is hilarious. And I felt like kind of like the innocence of Haley Steinfeld that she portrayed was great.
Yeah.
And she does that in a lot of stuff that she does. I mean, Bumblebee. What was the remake of the John Wayne movie? I can't think of right now.
True Grit.
True Grit. I mean, she's great at doing like kind of like innocence, but she can be a little bit of a smart aleck at times. She's very likable. So it'd be interesting to see. Are we going to get a new Avengers movie in like 2 to 3 years, or a Young Avengers movie, I should say?
I'm not
Probably
for
like
it.
maybe 4 or 5.
I'm not for it. They messed up. They messed up too many of these characters. Like, she's good. I liked her. I liked her in the show, but like everything else, I'm like, there's nobody else I need a Young Avengers movie for at this point.
I mean, what are you going to do? Obviously, they're going to have Spider-Man. We know Tom Holland's coming back for Avengers.
But they wouldn't put him in. They wouldn't put him in a Young Avengers movie.
A Young Avengers, no, because I mean, he's and
it's too big.
Tom Holland.
He's too big of a star.
Yeah.
I
mean, if they establish like, so I don't know. I know we're jumping all over. Did you hear I saw some news stories, not like a confirmed reliable source, but they were saying that Disney's announcing a recasting
of who?
For Black Panther.
Oh yeah, I'm here for it. At first, I wasn't. When before we got,
I want to see who they want to pick.
I just they can't. They've effed up so much that I almost don't trust them on certain things. At this point, I'm like, recast it, because at first I was all for them not recasting it. At first I was like, okay, you can do, I forget his sister's name. We can have her we can have Shuri be Black Panther. And then the movie came out and I was like I gave the movie points because like it was sentimental. Like we were all there for essentially grieving that he wasn't here. But the movie's not great. It's really
No.
not great. So I was like, okay, I don't want her here. And then they bring in Killmonger into What If. So I'm like, okay, maybe this is a way that Killmonger comes into
Or
616 or
or
whatever.
the fact that Killmonger was there in the afterlife and not her brother.
Yeah. So I'm like, maybe Killmonger comes in and then he's somehow, Black Panther.
mean-
but now I'm just like, you know what? At this point, recast it. He didn't
Instead-
die.
instead
I
of-
don't know. Do something.
You know, they could have done anything other than Killmonger. They could have had her father
Yeah.
meet her in that I forgot the actual term for the afterlife, but they
But
could have had
I like
had
the
him
fact. I did like
instead
that
of-
it was. I like that it was Killmonger because it was a contamin. It wasn't a pure
yeah.
like flower. Like it was. I'm trying to think of the right word here. It was almost like a bastardized version of this thing. So like you wouldn't. Of course, you would end up accidentally in hell versus heaven.
Yeah. And I get that she was driven by revenge and rage, and
Yes.
that's what Eric Killmonger was about.
Yes.
So I get that. And don't get me wrong, Michael B. Jordan is a great actor. He was a great villain, and I would have loved to have seen him continue if they, didn't, write him as dying at the end of the first one.
Villains
because I
either die or become good. That's all Disney knows how to
Yeah.
do.
So I mean, that would have been interesting to see how he could have, been the butting head type council type with Chadwick.
Yeah.
I think that really would have been it would have been different. It would have been off book, so to speak. But we love when things go off book. Do we want everything done word for word, scene panel for panel from a comic book? No. We like when things get done differently. Game of Thrones, there's a few changes that were not solely from the books. Walking Dead, there's a lot of big diverse changes from the comic book to what they did on the live screen. I mean, hell, even Spider-Man, I mean, thankfully they corrected everything. They finally made Peter be on his own, which should have been that way the entire time. So, but I don't know, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I'm curious who they're going to get, but Disney, they could also go a different approach his family, be like, hey, we would like to use his digital rights, and we will give you this money, and we will create an educational foundation in his name, or do something, because was it in a couple of the Star Wars properties, they recreated Grand Moff Tarkin.
Yep.
Okay, they did that, and that was a lot. That was, I think, Rogue One, in fact.
Yeah.
When they did that, and there was a lot of controversy with that, but with technology nowadays, you could really make it look seamless. After that Star Trek short we watched a while back,
Yeah.
I mean, the technology is out there. You could do that. You could have someone do a mocap of him.
But the problem is that they've written themselves into the corner of in the universe he's dead, like in universe he's gone. So it's like the only way to rectify that now is either a resurrection or they bring him from a different universe.
Yeah,
that's going to be your only.
What if? What?
Yeah. But
I mean, well, here's the thing. We did have a tear in the whole space-time continuum in the multiverse when Peter Parker.
Yeah, but the movies are even like not even keeping it a constant threat.
I mean, as far as we know,
pun intended for Loki.
I mean, hell, Michael Keaton's Vulture is stuck in that other universe.
Somehow,
technically speaking,
in the universe that's ended now. Like,
yeah.
So
I mean, it's, who knows? I mean, anything's possible. I mean, hell, did we ever think we'd get Michael Keaton back as Batman?
Well, we almost had a whole movie with him, we almost had a whole 2 movies with him. And then they nixed Batgirl.
James Gunn, not that you're hearing me, but please, James Gunn, if you can hear my thoughts,
get him back.
Please go into the vault and just finish the editing of Batgirl and just.
They said they burned it. They said they legally cannot bring it back because they legally writ it or wrote it off as a as a loss, like as a failed project.
If they burned it, then I hope they burn in hell. What? Huh?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I mean, could it be? It can't be any worse than the Flash.
I love the Flash.
I mean, there's no accounting for taste, I guess.
Yeah. No, hey, I said it, I think, last week on the show. The reason I like the Flash, and then we'll start to wrap. The reason I like the Flash was opening scene or opening action sequence of the building, baby falling. He's like, to save the baby, I'm going to put it in the microwave. I was like, okay, I see what we're doing. I see the game has been set. The board has been put down. You gave me the rule book. I looked at the rules and I said, okay, this is what this movie is. I was fine I was fine with everything after that.
I'm sure if Jeffrey Dahmer was still alive, he would be salivating at that. But baby nuggets.
And the CGI was so bad in that sequence. I was like,
well, it was
course.
So bad. I mean,
of course.
I mean, if you're gonna do CGI and you're gonna spend the money, I mean, do it right. I mean, even when they did all the difference, Christopher Reeve and everyone else, they made them look so obviously just.
It was so bad.
And the thing is, we've seen other movies and other TV shows take footage from the past.
Yeah.
I mean, Flash, the Flash TV show.
Yeah.
They did when they did John Wesley's ship's 90s Flash.
Mm-hmm.
When they did his final farewell in Crisis, they pulled out the footage from the vault and they cleaned it up and made it look good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sad when TV shows do better CGI than a big motion picture company in a big franchise like DC.
Yeah.
It's I mean, DC, my wish list for DC was, I mean, it would be great if we still get Blue Beetle because I think they had potential.
Yeah.
To me, I enjoyed the movie. I know a lot of people panned it. I enjoyed it. It had it was fun. It was a fun superhero movie. And it wasn't like, oh, we're anchoring this to this universe and this universe and this universe. I mean, there's a passing mention about Batman, more of a joke. But I mean, it was its own standalone, and I thought it was a pretty decent cast. I enjoyed it. It was a fun movie. But who knows if that's going to go forward. I mean, Gunn could. He could definitely adapt it and keep it going forward like he's doing with Peacemaker.
We looked the other day on stream, and it is technically in Gunn universe.
Okay, good. Okay. Because, I mean, we know Peacemaker is canon with the exception of that one final little scene at the end of season 1.
Yeah.
So, I mean, come on. They made Aquaman kind of come off as the Deep in The Boys, but,
Yeah. So I have the list here of DC, and then I want to go into one last list. Actually, sorry, before that, I'll say what up to Guaranteed Jet in the house, Collecting with Cool in the house, Legacy of Nerd in the house, and once again, General Kenobi. I'm going to keep shouting out General Kenobi because not only is he awesome, he killed it. I don't know if you saw his stream yesterday, but
I know that.
Yesterday was General Kenobi's first stream monetized.
Oh,
and
congrats.
I declared in the chat, I mean, it started before me, but I declared in the chat, it was a super chat only stream, and he got bombarded. So shout out to him. He deserved it. But here on my list, Blue Beetle, I have it at number 3. I know that's very debatable. I am a known hater of Man of Steel, even though I love Henry Cavill, Superman. Blue Beetle, the first half of that movie, I was like, this is very forgettable. And then things got real halfway in, and I was like, I was like, I'm going to stop what I'm doing. I'm going to watch this movie. And at that point going forward, I enjoyed it.
The grandma with the shotgun. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Granny with the shotgun was cracking me the hell up.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as like Man of Steel, it was a different Superman, and it took me a while to took like several watches for me to kind of come around to it.
Yeah.
It just didn't feel like Superman per se. It didn't feel like
Yeah.
Clark
Exactly.
Kent.
Exactly.
So I mean, there is that.
Yeah. Um. Awesome. So the other thing I was gonna say, I'm challenging myself to the photo a day, which I got to do when we finish the
Yeah.
stream. But I'm trying to catch up on 2024 movies, and I'm not gonna get all of them, but I'm trying to watch the ones that people talked highly about. And the one that came out of nowhere for me was Trap. I remember seeing the
I have
trailer for it.
I have to watch it.
Watch
The
it.
trap the trailer I liked it. The Josh Hartnett movie, right?
Yep. Yeah.
It looks really good. It
My
looks really good.
my
Although
wife hated
you know,
it. She hated
there
it.
there's hints of nepotism to it, you know.
Why you say that?
Well, it's M. Night Shyamalan's daughter is playing the pop singer of the concert.
Oh, that's hilarious. I didn't
So
know that.
so it is a nepo movie, and
Yeah.
apparently she came up with the idea and concept, and they made it together.
Dude, then hats off to her. Hats off to her.
So, I mean,
Because
one, she
it's
she
good.
she was like, "Daddy, let's make a movie." Oh, I haven't made a movie in about 10, 15 years. But come on, make me the pop star. I'm like, okay, so I'll sign off on it. Yeah. I mean,
I
I
put it at
definitely
number
want to.
two.
But when I saw the trailer, I'm like, okay, I want to see this now.
Yeah.
A serial killer trapped at a concert because he took his daughter to the concert. I'm like, this could have been like this could have been like an exaggerated plot for Dexter.
Yeah. That's
You
actually a
know,
really good
like
point.
back in the day, like, before his, his love interest was killed and, her kids. I mean, he could have been taken, what if he was after someone and it was at a concert? I mean, it could have
Mhm.
easily been a Dexter plot right there.
Yeah.
Dune 2 was good because I mean, I love Dune. I mean,
Same.
the original one from the 80s, the Sci-Fi Channel ones from like the early 2000s, I
Mhm.
enjoyed the hell out of those. To me, you have a movie up there that was a surprise. That was a movie that I was surprised that I enjoyed,
Transformers
and
1.
that's Transformers 1.
Yeah.
Because I'm a G1 person from way back. I'm like, real, you're gonna make Hemsworth
Mhm.
Optimus.
Mhm.
You can make him Optimus.
Mhm.
And they, it's just the approach of how like they made Optimus like, or sorry, Orion, uh, this kind of like goofy guy who's kind of like a schemer that, things don't always
Mhm.
work out. Like
Mhm.
him and Megs are best buds. But I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, and of course, you got our boy playing Bumblebee, and I'm just dying the whole time. Badass Atron, you
Yeah.
know that's whole that. I
It's a
mean,
fun movie.
they played to their strengths,
Yeah.
and it was enjoyable. It was
Yeah.
a really enjoyable movie. They they put the seeds to an expanded universe, like with the quintessons and everything. They started a mythology, and we'll see if they continue it. I mean, it was enjoyable
Yeah.
because I was like, I'm not going to see this. This is the trailers. I'm like, they're pissing over the mythology. They're ruining my childhood. I was one of those people, and then I watched it. I was like, okay, I was wrong. I can
Yeah.
admit when I'm wrong, but it was enjoyable. Alien was great. I went to the theaters to see that, and it it hit all the right points for me.
I just thought it was too much of a rehash.
I could see that. I can
Yeah.
see that because you're it was like I can see from one perspective you can kind of see like, okay, well, there's this and this. They're kind of like, oh, these are kind of like loose threads. Like, well, what happened to insert side storyline here and so yeah, it did feel like a rehash because yes, we have a female protagonist that's going to be the one to go against the aliens and trying to save and so yeah, there was definitely that.
Yeah.
Um, Part of it was like some of it just felt like it was kind of like I don't know, like the whole brother synthoid.
Mhm.
I don't know, like it felt like in a way, you know what? His character reminded me of
Mhm.
Billy from the Power Rangers movie, the
Oh,
2016
for
one.
sure. For sure.
But I'm like. so you're kind of making like the synthoid kind of an autistic, but then he gets his switch flipped, and now he's stronger, faster, more logical. It's just, I don't know. It just, I wasn't a fan of that, but I appreciated seeing like the retro technology, the guns, and seeing some of that. I appreciated seeing that. This is something we should have got years ago, I think, in place of some of the other movies.
Mm-hmm.
But it kind of sewed everything together. So
Yeah.
I appreciated it for what it was.
Yeah. The other ones on my list that I do want to see is I want to see Monkey Man and
Yes.
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Those are probably like the top two that
I
I
have to
want
catch
to
up on
knock out.
Planet of the Apes movies. I'm like 2 movies behind.
I did
Um,
that. I
I
did that like a month ago. No, like 2 months ago. And I was like, God, these movies are so good.
I also did not see the one that I'm sure Mr. Troublemaker, aka T3, was waiting for. I have
The
not
Crow.
seen The Crow.
Yeah, I'm not gonna watch that.
I I I don't know. I mean, if I can't find anything else to watch, I might just throw it on just as background noise.
Mm-hmm.
I've yet to see it, mostly because I feel the same way a lot of other people feel. But then I saw the interview with Ernie Hudson. He says, out of respect for Brandon, I will not see it.
Yeah,
Because, I mean, let's be honest, the first Crow was lightning in a bottle. It was
I didn't.
so lightning in a bottle.
Yeah, I didn't like it, but you guys know why I don't like it.
Yeah. But I mean, like, for like some people, like I was a big fan of it, but it was just, for me, the things that I'm into, the movies I'm into, and they had like the immortal Tony Todd was in there.
Yeah,
I mean, it hits all. They had a lot of great things in there, and then of course, the movie came out before came out. We knew that he died, so it's like, well, geez, now we have to go see it.
yeah,
But then for a lot of people, it was a really great movie. Some people felt it was too dark, or they didn't like certain tones in the movie, and it's not for everyone, you know. But even Ernie Hudson said in an interview, well, it didn't have to be Eric Draven. It could have been someone else.
yeah,
The Crow can be anyone.
yeah,
But they decided to say, "Hey, we're gonna squeeze this orange for everything we can."
yeah, yeah.
So
Awesome. Well, another fun stream. I appreciate you jumping on to help me out
yes,
with
sir.
my unplanned stream here. Anything you want to plug before we wrap today's episode?
Well, I am actually going to be recording a few videos. I'm hoping to get 1 or 2 of them out next week. It depends, because just this whole room is a mess. I'm actually trying to reorganize everything. Just like it literally is a mess, a disaster. I'm trying to get it sorted out. But the only thing I really want to plug is I will be doing a Tuesday night live this Tuesday. I'm
Nice.
thinking possibly 9 o'clock p.m. or 8 p.m. Just stay tuned for Dave's Dimension YouTube channel on the community tab. I'll do some updates. I am going to I had a couple requests for some videos talking about Streamlabs,
Mm,
about some of the features, some of the basic features. So I might do some small little short videos of those, but please stay tuned to, guys. If you're not already subscribed, please go to the Outer Dimensions Podcast YouTube channel. Just go ahead and type in Outer Dimensions Podcast. Please subscribe. Dre and I are going to be coming back. We have a whole slate, like literally, we have a schedule. We're going to be doing 3 episodes a month. So we'll be taking one. I think we're doing like 3 at a time, and then we'll take like 1 or 2 weeks off, and then we'll do another 3. We have those come, like we're already scheduled out all the way through the spring, almost to the summer. So we have a ton of things lined up. We're not just going to be talking about movies. We are going to be talking about some streaming shows. So we have a lot coming through the pipeline. So please, we took the year off. We're going to be back. So go ahead and subscribe to Dave's, to my channel, Dave's Dimension, of course, the Outer Dimensions Podcast, and of course, Dre the Geek Dad. Dre's rebranding on YouTube. So go ahead and check him out.
nice. Love that. I put links in the comments for all of you. And I also added in a link for, as you pointed out earlier today, Marv is the official after
Yes.
party for the stream. So link is in the chat as well. But Dave, appreciate it. Looking forward
Yes, sir.
to you coming on once again, and I'll be jumping on your streams. I'm sure.
Yes, sir.
What a fun episode. So happy all of you guys stopped by today. Thank you all for tolerating my tech difficulties today. I'll try to fix it after the fact.
Tech difficulties or tech expectations?
There
be
you go.
the judge.
There you go. Hey Archer Live every Thursday, 8:15ish p.m. here on Nerd Affiliated. We have more unboxings, more reviews, all that fun stuff coming down the pipe.
Is Dirty Coffee back full time or just
Special editions. It'll be special editions.
special editions?
Yeah. But I'm determined this year to do more unboxings and more reviews and more of that kind of stuff. So if you guys haven't seen, there is the Batman unboxing I did this week for the BVS version, armored version. And hopefully be getting out a couple of member-only videos in the next couple weeks. So make sure you guys join the channel memberships. Appreciate you guys. Follow each other in the chat. Like, comment, subscribe. And
Buy his merch.
Buy the merch. Buy the merch. Like, comment, subscribe. Talk to all you nerds in the next video. Peace. We're out of here.
More specifically, vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.
Yeah, come on, push a button. Push a goddamn button.
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.